Guys, thank you so much for tuning in and for our Hispanic community. Gracias. We have a special guest today. Her name is xBVALENTINE. Let's get it.
Yo.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you guys for having me.
She had a show last night. We went to it, and it was a great show, and she sold out.
You're opening for somebody, and now you're like, once you're done, you're like, you just get to enjoy the show. But this time, you're like the last person.
Yeah, no,
it was... Everybody already saw
everybody,
and it's like...
For my city, Dallas, this gon' be that Lucas show. Now I'm blowing up like the whole squad to let bazookas go. In this world, it ain't about what you know, it's about who you know. Flying out to handle business, catch me out in Maryland. If you ever picked me up when I was down, you bro for life.
Saving the best for last.
It was definitely different. I mean, like, you know, how I mentioned was I'm so used to always like my nerves always comes from like no one knows me, right? When I open up shows. So I'm like, my goal here is to make sure that everyone here leaves like being a fan of me. So that's where a lot of my nerves come from, is just like knowing like I have to impress these people. And last night my nerves more came from like, it was different. Like I definitely felt like this like good thing. Like I was nervous, but I just felt like so like I had so much adrenaline and I just felt so happy. And I was just like, dang, this is crazy. Like I was even telling Smooth, like, I don't know how artists, like big artists, like just chill in the green room all day. It's like, I wanted to be out and like, just like, I wanted to just see everybody. And I was watching every single opener. I'm a fan of everybody. Right. So, you know, and I think that was just like, I don't know. I was just soaking it in, and it was definitely different knowing that.
You feed off their energy?
Oh, 1,000%. And, you know, and everyone's energy last night was just crazy. Like, everyone was definitely, like, showing so much love to every single opener. I had everyone coming up to me like, man, this lineup is crazy.
Hey, you saw that white boy? Oh, my God.
Yeah, man, he go off.
Wait, what was his name again?
Billy, whatever his name was.
Oh, Wild Bill. That's my homie, man. Oh, I love Wild Bill.
He ate shit up, man. Honestly, because I was expecting to be like some Tennessee whiskey. Like, oh, this dude is about to sing some soulful songs. And he just starts going off like Eminem. I'm like, what the hell?
Nah, yeah, he's hard.
That shit up, bro. Alex, if you would have been there, you would have seen a motherfucker, Bill, straight up tall, fat, and with like the
overalls. Yeah, man. He's like six.
They look through me out way out.
He's like redhead. He's like a ginger too, so he's got like red long man. But he is the most down to earth, sweetest, and most supportive guy you will ever meet. Like, man, the first time I ever met him, he's like, I'm a fan of you, and I had never met him, and ever since then, like, he's just been showing so much love. Like, the first time I met him, he bought a merch shirt and he wore it in one of his music videos.
Oh, wow. Shout out to Caesar. Show us that shirt. Show us that shirt. Let's go.
Yeah, I see you repping.
That Alex.
How do you pronounce your name? Because do you get known as xBVALENTINE, or do they just call you Valentine?
So it's funny. Actually, everyone calls me XB. Just, so it's a lot of people think Valentine is my last name, actually, but it's not. My last name is Rodriguez. Yeah, but you know, I couldn't be, you know, my government name just sounds like I should be like a Tejano singer or something.
Where did your name come about? I don't know. I mean, for the people that don't know you, that barely meeting you, like, how did you make up your name?
So Valentine came from the fact that my birthday's on Valentine's Day.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I was just like, I needed like a different word to use. And originally my artist name used to be just B Valentine, because my first name is Bianca, and everyone used to call me B. And that was always my nickname. So I just put B and Valentine together. But this is when I was like 18. I remember trying to change my Instagram handle to that. And someone with like the first name something, last name Valentine had already taken it. So I put the X in front just because it wasn't taken, right? And everyone started calling me xBVALENTINE. So I was like, well, that has a cool little ring to it. So I just kept it. And then for short, everyone just says XB, or sometimes just call me B.
That's how everybody changes their name, because they start with a name and then as soon as they try to put it on Instagram, it's like, oh man, somebody's taking it, so we have to change it a little.
But it worked out, you know. I think it sounds a lot better than just B Valentine, you know?
Yeah, no, that happens to me recently because everybody, I don't know, like back in the day, I don't know what you had your Snapchat as.
Oh, yeah.
But like people still know me by my Snapchat name. I'm like, bro, I was 13 when I made that.
That's funny, yeah. It'd be like that.
I'm like, no, I'm not actually, I'm just Caesar, but I'm like, I don't, it's whatever, bro.
Yeah.
They let you change that shit now. Huh? They let you change that shit.
I know. I changed
Now,
it,
for real, I didn't.
but I noticed that
the reputation's already there.
It's stuck.
Nah, man, but for real, like, I wanted to ask you this because, you know, everyone looks at us and they see Hispanic and they're probably Hispanic too. So, like, what does it mean for you to be Hispanic?
Oh, man, it means everything to me because, you know, I am a first generation kid, you know, so my parents are immigrants and I've seen firsthand, like, what those struggles are like. So, you know, recently, you know, thank God my dad just got his residency last year.
Shout out to him, bro. He, on the way to citizenship.
He's actually in Mexico right now.
Chilling.
Yeah, man. He had went, I think it was like 22 years without seeing his family. So it was, you know, it was a beautiful moment knowing, unfortunately, I didn't get to go when he went, but my mom and him went and it was just, I can tell it was emotional for him. I mean, going that long without seeing your family. And my dad's a hard worker. Like, since I was a kid, it's funny. My mom always tells me this story. He's like, when you were born, he's like, your dad came, held you, put you down, went right back to work.
Right. He's the OG dad where, like, he just gets to work, comes home, stays quiet, eats. All right.
Shout out to your dad for real.
Yeah,
those are everybody's dad is like
facts.
that, man.
That's that Hispanic culture. Like, our fathers are like hustlers, man.
Exactly.
And coming from that is the reason why, like, I feel like Hispanics have a different type of like grind mode. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we grew up watching it. Like, we don't know nothing else but like what our parents did. And even to this day, like, my mom and my dad both work. They bust their ass every day. And, you know, and like, of course, you know, every Hispanic parent wants their kids to go to college. And like, luckily, like, my little brother is actually the first in our family to go to college.
Congrats.
You know? Yeah, he's actually goes to the University of Texas, which is in UT. So
UT Austin, because you're from Austin, right?
Yeah.
Shout out to Austin.
Are you from Austin or
so
you live in Austin?
I was born and raised in Georgetown, which is it's about like 30 minutes away from Austin. It's like, you know, it's real close, but I like grew up in the city of Austin. Like, I was, you know, it's literally like down the street type shit.
Exactly.
So tell us more, because Austin is changing.
Oh,
big
yeah.
time.
It's changed a lot.
So, like, especially if you grew up in Austin, you definitely see the difference.
Yes, it's definitely different. It's
like,
and it's crazy how congested it is now.
Fuck 35.
Traffic on 35.
Yeah, and it's like at all times. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Like, everyone's like 5 o'clock traffic. No, in Austin it's traffic all day.
Because there's
like,
only one highway.
Yeah,
like, well,
it's,
really,
it's
there's
that
three.
one main highway. Yeah,
there's really three, but like
it's been under construction like
facts.
years, right?
Nah, facts. But it's dope though.
Are you the type to like be like, I don't want more people to move in here, or like you're welcoming the whole movement of California?
I'm about it. I mean, you know, I think for the people who've lived in Austin for their whole lives, they probably hate it. But like me, I live in Georgetown, or I live like in Round Rock, which is like literally like, I like live real close. So I literally just drive like 20 minutes to get there. So to me, it's like, it doesn't bother me because I'm not there. You know what I mean? I just drive over there when I want to. So for me, it's different because I'm like, I live down like away from all that shit.
Exactly.
But I hear people from Austin like, oh, I hate this. Like, everyone's moving over here. Everything's getting expensive. And I get it, though.
Yeah.
But as an artist, and especially in the music industry, and also, well, I'm a big fan of the comedy scene, too.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So all that over there is growing so much.
Yeah.
So, like, I feel like it's benefiting because now there's more people to go watch those shows.
Oh, yeah.
You know, or
and
go
like,
watch your show. You know,
yeah,
in the future.
definitely. Like, Austin's full of opportunities. Like, that's something that it's never like lacked of, you know? And I think that's what I love about that city is it's very welcoming to anything creative. Like, it doesn't matter what you do, is like it's such a creative city. Like, there's so many events. Like there's this Instagram page called When, Where, What Austin. And this page like gives you all things to do in Austin. There's never nothing to do over there. Always something to do.
Dude, I bought a 2022 vehicle, and next thing you know, it was a 2021. It just announced, released. It's barely 2023. 50K miles already.
Oh, damn.
Just because I go back and forth from Austin.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, in Austin almost.
He loves Austin.
Yes, I love it out there. Yeah, and like, man, the party scene, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. Like, and people, and I've lived in Dallas for like 6 months, and I lived in Deep Ellum, you know? So,
oh, wow. So you lived
yeah, I lived in the middle.
She was CEO of fucking Deep Ellum.
But I feel like I moved there at the wrong time because it was crazy. I was like the first.
When did you move?
I moved in, oh man, I don't remember. I moved.
Was it recently?
2021. I moved last year in September.
So this is when the violence started going up.
It was bad, yo. Bro, no one warned me. Nobody warned me.
Honestly, we didn't even know. I actually got. It's crazy because actually somebody tried to steal my truck there in Deep Ellum. Like, somebody like, and only because I noticed it. I was about to, but like I was parked in the side road, and then I saw people coming behind me. I'm like, hold up, this is too suspicious. And then as soon as I started seeing like a gun come out, I was like, oh, I just took off. Good thing I had my truck already on. I just took off. I'm like, I'm never coming back.
Bitches
Is that why you moved out?
No. I mean, I just moved out just because, like, honestly, like, it just wasn't for me. Like, I didn't have any, like,
the violence wasn't for me.
Nah, like, it was just, I think being away from like your family and friends and like really not having anyone there, and it was just me and my girl, so we just had each other. And like she was a nurse, so she went from like a job that she had been at for like 6 years.
Damn.
And she started doing travel nursing.
Whoa.
So it was a transition for the both of us, and I think it just got to a point where we're like, this isn't, maybe we should move back. So
I was
talking that exists with travel nursing.
They make bank.
They make bank.
It's because they basically they get hosted too, right? Like
they what's it called? They like pay you back for anything. Like I remember like for the U-Haul and shit. Like they what's the word? It's with the R. They reimburse. There you go. Yeah. So I mean, it was a cool experience while we were here. We lived in the loft, Adam Hat's loft, like right across from Bomb Factory. So it was an experience, but. I realized like the city life ain't for me. Do you see yourself
ever performing in the Bomb Factory?
I've actually performed at. Oh no! I performed at the room next door to it, the town hall, or I forget what it's called.
But the Bomb Factory, it's big, man.
I've actually saw T.I. and 2 Chainz perform there like years ago. Years ago, yeah, it was a long time ago.
Exactly.
Who have been your favorite artists that you've seen perform live?
Oh man, that's hard. Honestly, I'd have to say Nas. I got to see him perform.
Legend, living legend.
Yeah, I saw him perform at it was a fun fest in Austin. This was like maybe in 2016. It was a long time ago. It was him. It was a festival, so it was like Wiz Khalifa, Nas, SZA. I think Lauryn Hill was there.
And then Austin also has Austin City Limits.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? I've never been.
Never been to Austin City Limits?
I have a.
It's been trash a couple of years now.
Yeah, I'm real picky with festivals. Like for one, I have really bad like social anxiety. Like I can't just be in crowds. Like I get hella claustrophobic. Yeah, I can't do it. I think that's why I was destined to be a performer. I'm not meant to be in the crowd. I'm meant to be on the stage away from everybody. But I like if I go to a festival or a concert, like I don't care to be in the front. The only time I was ever in the front was for Wiz Khalifa and Nas, because I love Nas. I was like, I've been a fan. Like,
little fanboy.
Yeah, so I was like, I had to be in the front for this, just to say I was in the front. So that was a cool experience. I was also like into photography at the time.
Oh, nice.
So I got to shoot the pictures.
You got to teach our boy Caesar how to control the camera.
I've been wanting to learn.
Yeah, photography was like the first thing I really fell in love with. I mean, I do a lot of my own photo shoots and record a lot of my own content to this day.
Man.
Thank you.
And a lot of folks
needed now for sure.
Right?
With all the content that you need to.
Yeah,
roll out.
Facts.
Many of our guests, they come in and they sometimes ask us, hey, can you help us record? Because they see the cameras and they're like, you know what, help me.
Yeah.
And sometimes we do try, sometimes we just can't help.
Yeah.
But like at the end of the day, like it's a lot of work.
Oh no,
learning how to set up the iSoap or whatever it's called.
The ISO. The ISO.
What is that?
That's what I'm saying. I'm just the editor. That's how you know I know.
He said ISO.
Just stick to editing, buddy. Just stick to editing.
That ass, man. No.
So what was it like also opening for Jordan Lucas? Because I'm a big fan of Jordan. So,
man.
What was it like?
Honestly, that was an emotional show for me because I'm such a Joyner fan. When Smooth told me like, yo, you're going to be opening up for Joyner, I just remember like, yo, I listen to this man every day. Like,
damn.
Like he is on my like playlist, like Ramen and OJ, that's my shit right there. And I listen to that shit every day at the gym. And like, there's this one specific song, that I like. I think it's called I'm Sorry. I remember when I first heard it, I found him on Facebook. It went viral, this music video. And at the time, I was like really going through some like, tough shit. And I think that song like really put in perspective to me, like kind of how to like deal with my emotions a little bit better. And like the song just hit different. I would listen to it over and over again just to kind of like tell myself like, look, shit can be worse. And like his voice and like just the story behind it. And I was just able to like really, feel it. And I think hearing that and like knowing like, yo, like this song got me through a hard time, and then hearing it live and knowing I was a part of that show was just different because I was like, fuck. Like everything just kind of like plays out real weird in my life sometimes. So I'm like, everything kind of just connects because everything that I've done when I was younger, like I got like, there's certain artists that I really admired growing up that I like literally have their phone number in my phone now. And that like just little shit like that like trips me out. And
And we're just getting started. We're just getting started. So there's going to be a lot more context.
Yeah.
Hey, her first Austin City Limits show is going to be her performance.
I know, right?
No, man, that's what it's funny because I actually told my friends that I was like, you know what? I'm never buying a ticket. I was like, I'm just going to like, the only time I'm going to go is when they book me.
Yeah,
that's
that's the goal.
We got to make that happen, man.
We're manifesting it right here. It's going to happen.
I saw your sleeve. What do you say to the people that don't like tattoos, man?
I don't give a fuck. It's like that, that's their opinion. My parents aren't a fan of it, obviously.
That's
but,
right. Hispanics, they're like, you're gonna go to hell.
I was like, man, I think and I've always been like, I love art too. I can't draw for shit, but like, I think the concept of having like art on you that like represents something for you is dope. Like and I always tell people, like, my thing is like, I like to get tattoos from like dope artists because I'm like I want it to look like I have art pieces on me, I know when I was younger I got a bunch of like random tattoos from random tattoo artists, but like once I started discovering like good ones, I was like, oh nah, I'm gonna stick to you guys only.
I think the worst thing that can happen to someone that likes tattoos is like their artist moving states.
Oh fuck yeah,
that ass, right?
Nah, but actually the tattoo artist I work with is from out here.
Nice.
I think from Genesis Studio or I forgot the name of the tattoo shop. I think it's GS or Genesis.
Damn, bro. I be seeing those Friday the 13th tattoos everywhere.
Yeah, they always do it every Friday the 13th. Everybody be getting one. What was your first tattoo?
My first one was actually this little one right here. I don't know if you can see.
It's a Friday the 13th.
It's a little wide.
Did you hide it from your parents in the beginning?
Nah, I told them.
You told them straight up?
You know what's funny? The biggest one I got is this big mermaid I have right here.
Nice.
And I hid this one. I was a waitress for 6 years and I worked with my family.
Yeah.
I worked alongside my dad, my mom, my uncle, my cousins.
Everybody.
And I was a waitress, right? So, and sometimes I would work with my mom. We would both, and like I would
like at a restaurant.
I would only wear long sleeves for the longest because I was already living on my own, and I had just went and got it. I was like, I mean, I'm grown. I can go and get a tattoo, right?
But then when we're in front of our parents, we're like, fuck, nah, let me hide it. Like,
man.
it's the same thing with this tattoo because it's pretty big.
Yeah.
And I would like wear long sleeve all the time. I'm like, bro, I'm grown. Why am I scared of my mom?
Like, I'm so
if she
scared.
hits me, it's not even gonna hurt. Like,
it's like she's gonna slap your arm a little bit.
What's she gonna do?
Yeah, nah, and it was funny because I went maybe like 6 months hiding it from them.
Damn.
And
6 months.
That's a long. I was scared, bro.
Petrified.
I was because it was huge, and I was like, and it like, I mean,
that's a big ass tattoo.
and it's
for
big,
real.
and it's a female, and like she's got like her breasts and whatnot.
Oh,
so
shit,
I was
let me
like,
see. Not
yeah,
playing.
it's like, I mean, it's covered with like a seashell or whatever, but it was just funny because I remember when my dad finally saw it, it was because I had posted a picture on Instagram.
Oh, they got your ass.
And the funny thing is, my dad does not have any social media, but he just got a touchscreen phone. He had a flip phone for the longest time. And he just upgraded to like an Android, and he discovered how to use Google, and he Googles my name.
No.
And when you Google my name, you like my Instagram, my Twitter, and you can just click like all my shit is public, right?
He said, I want to know how famous my daughter is.
There you go.
I know you're trying to be supportive, and then she goes, what?
He's like, what is that? I hit him
right.
with, and then he comes to work and he's like, let me see your arm. I'm like, fuck.
I saw that shit at work.
Yeah. I like lift my arms. I'm at work too, and I like lift it up, and he's like, chingao. He's like, why'd you get that? He's like, y también una mujer toda encuadrada. I was like, it's a mermaid, Dad.
That's right. Hey, look, I'm gonna be real honest with you. You're beautiful,
Thank
but
you.
like at the end of the day, you say you're gay, right?
Yeah.
You have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Damn, how did that come across? Like with your parents? Like that shit must have been like World War III.
Yeah, and what's crazy is like this relationship I'm in is barely my second female relationship I've ever been. I mean, I did date guys in the past. And the first female relationship I was in, it was actually a secret. I didn't tell nobody about it, because I was scared. No one knew. I barely was like learning myself. It was my first time really experimenting, and I think it got to a point where like, keeping it a secret was really like, it affects you, when you can't even be yourself, it like really puts you in a weird place.
For real.
And, I told my sister about the situation, and I think it was just starting to get to where it was too secretive and people were starting to be like, okay, what's going on? You know, I was like literally planning and moving in with her. And she was actually living in Fort Worth at the time.
Nice.
I was coming back and forth to see her.
Damn, that pussy must have been good.
Don't be lying, because you be doing that too, bro. That's why you be saying
$50,000. Nah, man, she was toxic as hell. It was not a good first female relationship, but I learned a lot of what I don't want, you know. And what's crazy is because I did a full 360 after being with that girl. Eventually I did tell my parents, and my parents were kind of, you know, at first my mom kind of struggled with it a little bit more. Like growing up, she was very adamant about me being more girly because I was always a tomboy, you know. I always like dressed up, you know, in guy clothes. I never liked wearing dresses and shit like that. But as you know, as a parent, my mom was very like, you know, wear more of this, or she'd buy me things. And I think it kind of affected her a little bit when she found out, 'cause she was just didn't know how to handle it. But she did come around. Eventually, my dad was also kind of like, you know, maybe you should go see a therapist. Maybe we can, you know.
Damn, asshole. What the fuck?
But you know, and I wasn't, I
it,
wasn't mad at it because it could have been worse. You know what I mean? I've heard stories where kids get kicked out of their homes.
But you know what? I feel like it's because like whenever they hear that, you know, oh, my son or daughter is gay, you know. I feel like what they end up happening in their head is that, you know what, it's my fault type of shit, you know? Like
exactly. And it's not. And it has absolutely nothing to do with how you're brought up. Because ever since I was young, I always knew there was something off about me. Like, I used to be frustrated as to why I couldn't connect with guys. I was like, sometimes the dudes would be more into me than I was into them, and I couldn't understand it. And I felt something was wrong with me. I was like, maybe.
I mean, that's the guy's fault. You know, that's definitely the guy's fault. Like, no. Look, I'll show you the trick. You just gotta give him enough attention.
No, but see, me, it was like I hate like some dudes would talk to. I would get like weirded out, like if they would call me like princess or like. I was like, chill out, bro. But like, and my friends would be like, why don't you like it? I was like, I don't know. This shit's weird to me. Like, why is he calling me that? Like, or they, I don't know. I felt like, I think it's because I'm the dude in the relationship. You know what I
mean? She said, "Ride me, bitch."
Do I get compliments from your girlfriend? like saying like some stuff like that, like some corny stuff like that, because. When people have done it to me, I'm like, bro, that sounds weird. Yeah,
because you feel like this is my job. Like I'm one, but I can't be telling dude like, you know,
I
it's just
like,
but
what you need is a guy that likes it in the booty hole.
Nah, that's I don't know about all that.
That ass. But I understand what you're saying because like, all right, so me being a father, and you know what, if my son turns out gay, you know. I understand why your parents would be like, you know what, it's our fault. Yeah. What did we do wrong type of shit. But me being a father, I know that he's going to have everything provided for him. And he's going to have, man, I'm so not even jealous. I'm so glad that he has it lined up how he has it lined up. Yeah. Everyone's work shows there. And if he turns out gay, you know what, that's normal. Yeah. Like, because out of all the things that I did the right thing type of shit, you know?
And I think the best thing to do, like, and I give props to my parents, like, I love them to death, and, like...
They're not divorced?
Yeah, like, and, you know, they've... If anything, my dad really is the reason why I'm kind of like a hopeless romantic. Like, I've seen him bring roses on my mom, and he would bring me roses. He would bring flowers for her, and he would bring me... So that taught me, like, this is what love is like, you know?
Let me ask you this, then. Yeah. What does it mean to be a hopeless romantic?
I think it means different things for different people because, like, my sister, like, so to me, it's more so like I am very, like, I love, but I've never been very, like, affectionate to, you know, but I'll do things like, you know, like when my girl, for example, she's a nurse, so she has hard, long days, and she'll work 3 days, 12-hour shifts. Yeah. So what I'll do is, like, I know that, you know, I'm going to clean the house, you know, I'm going to make sure everything's good when she gets home, and I'll like fucking set up a bath for her and like put a laptop right next to it, put wine, and like, you know, set up her favorite show. You know,
that brings up a good question. Then
speaking my language right now.
Okay. So then, as a tomboy, how do you show love then to a female?
I mean, really, I kind of, it just depends on what their love language is. You know, like my girl's love language is like, she's all about quality time. You know, she doesn't ask much from me. She just just wants enough time with me. And, you know,
Okay.
she's not like, oh, I need you 24/7. Not like, we both, you know, have our careers. And like, what I love about her is like, she is very like, not, I wouldn't say easy to please, you know, but
Yeah.
she,
Very simple.
I understand her love language. She's a simple woman. Like she doesn't, and it makes me want to do more. Like the less, like when people don't ask for much, it makes you want to do more for them. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because you're like, you're just such an
Damn.
angel. I just
No
want
wonder
to.
why you're dating her.
Yeah, she's like, that's what's the crazy part is like, I don't think I've ever met anyone like her. Like she's very like, she's so supportive and like is willing to do anything for me to accomplish my dream. And that's rare to find in
That-
people. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying?
Sometimes people don't
That
realize
ass.
that being supportive doesn't mean that you have to be there constantly. It's
Yeah.
just being there where you need them.
Exactly. And you know, and she was there last night helping me run my merch booth. Like she
that was her?
Yeah, that was her.
Oh, she's cute.
Well, I don't
Yeah,
know.
thank you.
Well, I don't know who it was because it was 3 people there.
Oh yeah, no, it was
It was
the
with the white
shorter.
shirt?
Yeah, she was wearing like a crop top, white.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
gotcha,
yeah.
gotcha.
She
Yeah,
was
no,
she was the
somewhere.
prettiest one there.
Flex on this, bro. You probably have more females, beautiful females than me. That ass, right? Like, bro, you probably pull more females than me. Straight up. That's what I'm trying to
Nah,
say.
man.
Me and Alex were talking about this last time. Not this Alex Rincon.
Yeah.
We're talking about it because we're here. Actually, never mind. Let me not expose you.
Damn, you got to be my wingman. XB.
Nah, man, and it's funny. I'm everyone's wingman.
Badass,
Nah, but
right?
it's funny because like, I mean, my homegirl had this joke because like I ain't gonna lie, like I do get like, you know, hit on mainly at shows, right? And you know, I'm pretty, you know, what's the word? I'm a one woman. Does that make sense? Like, how did they say it? Like, you know how they say a
One man, woman, or
word.
something
Just
like
that
that.
when like I'm pretty like all about mine. You know what I'm saying? Like
okay.
I don't like to like give attention. Like I'll say, you know, thank you, whatnot, you know, and I try to keep it respectful, but then I tell my homegirl, like, I'm gonna just pass them to you. It's like, you know, like
Let me get it as fun.
Wait, is it a guy or a girl hitting
nah,
you?
it's usually girls. I
yeah,
don't get hit
true.
on by guys. And it's funny, the only guys
I was
I
about
ever
to say,
you
I was
know
like,
what?
do guys hit
No,
on? 'Cause-
no. Okay, that's
that is a great question. Do
Look,
guys hit on you as
yes,
a dyke? You know?
they do, and that it baffles me. Like, and you know, I remember,
I was
man.
like, did you just
Shoot
not hear
or
my whole
shoot,
show?
baby.
Did you-
No, it's crazy. So
Yeah.
it's funny because I like my girl's from Harlingen, the Valley,
okay.
and we're out there like a few months ago, and we're just at some bar, and I was just there like with her family and shit, and like I noticed, and I was like, I look gay like 99% of the time, you know what I'm saying? And this is like super like 2 thug ass dudes, right?
Oh,
and I
wow.
felt them looking at me, but like usually I'm like, I don't think, oh, maybe they're looking at me
He
like
said,
that.
"Hey, I said, let me hit the hoe."
Nah, he comes up to me and he was like, yo, like my brother thinks you're cute. And I'm like, bruh, I'm here with my girlfriend. I was like, I'm gay.
Damn.
And he was like, for real?
He was
He's
probably
like,
like in his 10th shot.
he was like, you don't look gay. I was like, well, I am. And then like, you know, it was just like,
Yeah,
you know,
that's
but
funny.
in Austin, it's funny because like I always tell my girl, I only ever get hit on by really thug ass black dudes.
No way.
All the time. It never fails.
Damn.
It never fails. And it always happens in Austin. But like, I think it just has to like, I think I kind of like fit like what their type, I think, you know, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because it's always a dude, like it's always a specific kind of like guy that always hits on me. But it's funny
He
to
said
me.
they look all the same.
And I'm like, man, like, why do I attract these type of dudes? I mean, I ain't mad at it. Like, you know, I'm flattered. Like, I'm not like I'm not a man hater. You know, like it's okay.
Yeah.
Like I get it.
He said, "Fuck boys."
Honestly, I pulled up to a gay bar and I've been hitting on, and you know they brought me drinks.
But okay,
I'm like,
look,
I honestly
as a
feels
guy,
nice.
I was
It
gonna
feels
tell
nice,
you,
yeah.
I was like, I feel like as a man, like if I was a dude getting hit on by a gay guy, you should be flattered. Like gay
Yeah.
men's standards, well, most of them, most of their standards are pretty
Yeah, 'cause
high.
I
You
have
know
a
what
lot
I'm
of gay
saying?
friends, so like I know some of
Yeah.
the standards are not that great.
No,
man.
some of them though.
They
That's
just
why I
be
said.
fucking.
Yeah, some of them are like, you
They're
know, as
wild
long
boys.
as it walks, they with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But not all, you know. But I think that goes for anybody. You know what I'm saying?
We have Angel, you know.
Just bleep it out.
He knows it's that ass. If it moves, it can be fucked.
Oh no.
Oh man, that was a good conversation, boys. That ass. Nah, but for real, I honestly, I'll tell you this: I've never had a gay friend until I started going out. You know, in high school, we would always like make fun of them, right?
Yeah.
But then you're like, wait, why am I a section? Why am I in a section? And like, there's this like, you know what, trans and all that
Yeah.
stuff. And like, bro, I'm telling you, they're the best wingmen
I
ever.
was just about to
I'm
say they
telling
bring
you.
all the pretty girls. The gay
Yeah, they
guys
really
are
do.
always around the pretty girls. That
So,
is
like,
100%
For anyone
fact.
that's making fun of them, like, bro, you're
missing
stupid.
out.
Yeah, straight up,
You're missing out.
100%. Because like, let them do their thing, and you're gonna benefit.
In facts.
And I never get
Facts.
that why people hate on them, or like where the hate comes from, because it's like, bro, they're human beings. Like,
Yeah,
at the end of the day,
that's
you
right.
but
talk
the
to
thing
them,
is taught. Like that's something that's taught at home. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And that's why it's
Yeah.
important. Like especially with the younger generation, I'm very like, you know, I always see people on Facebook, whatever, like, you know, put their opinions about, oh, I don't want my kids to be exposed to this. And my biggest thing is like we're all exposed to it at a young age, right? Like,
Right.
you know, I've always say like I have literally been watching straight couples on television my entire life,
Yeah.
and I'm not straight.
Yeah.
The same
Yeah.
way with like a kid watching, you know, like you know, there's cartoons now that like do put like little hints at LGBT stuff, and parents are
Right.
very like, I don't want my kids to be exposed to this. Like for one, your kid probably has no idea what's going on, and they're probably gonna forget about that
Yeah.
scene in a couple months.
Right.
But they're not gonna turn out gay from watching that. The same way
Yeah.
like I didn't turn out straight. Like it's not what you watch, it's what you feel. Like you just know deep down inside.
Damn.
You know what it
That
is?
kind of like makes me think like, you know the show You,
Yeah.
bro. Imagine if he turns to a guy next.
Yeah. Oh shit.
That's right. Like
Yep.
that's gonna be wild shit right there. But it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
We'll see.
But and honestly, what you're saying is a good point. Where like, I remember as a kid watching movies and stuff, especially Disney movies.
Yeah.
I never realized. Now older, watching those movies, like all those jokes that
Yeah.
were kind of like either sexual.
Yeah, there was a
oriented,
lot
yeah,
of
you
subliminal
didn't-
shit
you
in
don't
there.
get shit that you
Yeah.
don't get when you're
That-
young.
that's right.
So it's like that's the part. Is like if you're young, you're not gonna understand. what's
Yeah,
happening.
it's like,
You just-
especially what movie was it? Shrek. I was watching
Oh
it one
my
time.
God,
I'm
Shrek
like,
was
So
damn.
Shrek has the most subliminal messages ever.
But they do that so the adults can also enjoy it,
Enjoy
you
it.
know.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
if you go and watch a movie with your kid, you're not gonna be like, this is some kiddie shit.
But
like,
did you hear about the backstory of Shrek? How he basically was fired from Disney, and then he said, "You know what? Let me make a movie, and I'm gonna do all these subliminal messages because fuck them."
Damn, I did not know that.
Like,
Makes sense.
look at the way that the princesses are, like
Yeah,
all like
that does
how
make
they call
sense.
it, like
They're like
they're just being poked fun at, you know, type of shit.
because
Like
they had
they're
like
so
Pinocchio and all. Yeah,
Exactly.
damn, that's true. I never
That's
thought
right.
of
Wait, what do
that.
you mean? So they
So Disney fired him, the
the
Creator of
the
The
creator
creator.
of Shrek, and he said, "You know what? Fuck y'all. I'm gonna make us. I'm basically gonna do what I wanted to do with y'all, but you know what? I'm gonna poke fun of that at y'all's shit."
Came out dope.
Yeah.
Exactly, bro.
Honestly,
Best
Shrek
movies
was, like, one of
ever.
my
Bro,
favorite
I'm still waiting
movies.
for Shrek the Fourth, bro.
Facts.
Dead
Wait,
ass.
hold up.
Facts.
So Shrek is not Disney?
No,
fool, it's Pixar.
Yeah.
No, wait, no, not
No, it's DreamWorks. Yeah, it's DreamWorks.
Oh shit, I didn't even
Yeah.
realize that.
Nah, it's definitely not
shit.
Disney.
That's right.
It's definitely not
So then
Disney.
let me ask you this then, because we brought up Disney as a LGBTQ plus.
Yes.
Why do you think Disney is pushing so much all of that?
Disney is a business. Disney is just trying to make their money. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I think, they know that right now the LGBT just wants as much support as possible.
Right.
And it's a whole new audience, to target. And I think they're just trying to target as many audiences as they can,
Right.
I think at the end of the day, it's all about business when it comes to that.
Do you think that they're pushing it down people's throat though, or what?
Honestly, like, I haven't seen enough of it for me to feel like, damn, they're like forcing this shit. I honestly haven't. I've only ever seen like maybe 2 posts about that. I think it was the new Buzz Lightyear movie where they included an LGBT couple. Other than that, I really don't know if they've done more of that.
Yeah.
But as far as
Yeah,
them
they
pushing
did.
it down their throat, I don't really feel like I've seen enough
Right.
of it. Of course, there's probably people like, damn, like they're
Right.
really forcing this shit down. But I think it was like during Pride Month, I was seeing so many people like, I'm tired of seeing all this rainbow shit in every store. I'm like, damn, like how do you think we feel when 4th of July seeing all the damn American flags everywhere
get
too?
you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it's like, I'm not like trying to disrespect 4th of July, but it's like, it's a prideful month. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
it's the same
saying?
thing.
Like,
It's like, it's
it's
just
the same
celebration.
thing. We're like, yeah, y'all might not agree with it the same way. Not a lot of people want to celebrate 4th of July.
Right.
But, it's just one of those things. Like, to each their own. You don't got to support it, but you don't got to knock it either.
I
Like,
agree.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like one of those things. Like, if you don't understand it, you shouldn't speak on it.
Ooh.
Yeah. Let's go. And with that, let's talk about something about your work as well. I know you're dropping new music.
Yeah.
Let's
What's the new song that you're dropping. We were talking about this before.
Yeah, so we actually got one coming out on the 28th of January with Reverie, who is actually the artist I mentioned earlier. I was like, she's someone I looked up to for a really long time, and I actually have her like me and her like text every now and then. And
Damn.
she
Watch
was,
out, girlfriend.
nah, man, she's dope as fuck, and like she's like someone like I genuinely like look at. Like she inspired me so much because I remember when I was like 15, I randomly came across a YouTube video. I was looking up female rappers because there wasn't many.
Right.
And that's actually how I discovered Becky G. I remember like she was a rapper back then. And this was when I was like 15. And now she's like a full-on reggaeton singer and shit.
Exactly.
She killing it though. She's my celebrity
She's
crush.
cute as fuck too. Exactly.
I know my girls always like, I'll be like, that's my wife. She's like,
That's the real wife.
Nah, she's getting married. It's all good.
She's getting married?
Yeah, she got
I saw
proposed
that.
to.
Damn.
Yeah.
Shit, I'll propose to that too.
Bro, you're a little too wild today, bro. Every girl that we
Everything that was. Trying to shoot.
That's
right.
Are you Angel?
Angel 2.0.
Following footsteps, bro.
Following the footsteps. Man, that's right. No, but for real, she really has done a lot for the Hispanic reggaeton community.
Facts.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, besides her, like, you know, I remember, like, thinking, like, man, there's no one really, like, a rapper, like, a female rapper that I've, like, could say that I was a fan of. And then I came across Reverie. There was this music video called Give It Time. And she was spitting, like, bars. Like, I was like, what the fuck? I've never heard a female rap like this. And she was Hispanic. And I was like, damn. And she was wearing baggy clothes. Like, I was like, man.
It kind of reminds me of Snow the Product.
Yeah,
you know, like
definitely. And I think at the time, like I've always been a fan of Snow. I would watch her every day, what was it? She had a woke TV vlogs. I remember back in the day, and I used to
throwback.
And I used to watch them. I was never really like I wouldn't listen to her because I was just never a fan of like upbeat music. I was very into like slow, like mellow shit.
Bryson Tiller.
But man, like don't get me wrong, Snow go hard. Like, you know, like you know, I'll give her flowers. Honestly, like she
For
killing
sure.
shit. You know, there's definitely songs I'm like, damn, like fuck,
Right.
she's spitting. But
And I'll open up a little bit because, you know, we recently did a couple of reels about Snow the Product.
oh
and,
yeah,
man, it's crazy because, like, I still remember, I didn't even know who she was. And we were at the other studio next door. And, you know, Alex was playing that shit. And I'm like,
No, I was playing the.
Or-
I showed you her from the.
yeah, but we
Bizarrap.
were all watching her. It was the fucking freestyle.
Yeah,
the
so
one
we
that has
had,
like 206 million views type of
Sheesh,
shit.
yeah.
Back then it was probably like what 87 million, and we're like, oh shit, that's a lot, right? Look at her now,
nah,
right? And I
for
still
real.
remember, like, I didn't know who she was.
Yeah.
they introduced me to her, and I'm like, whoa.
yeah. I really view her as like when I view like female artists, like you know, because I think it's like its own little like group or collective or
Right.
sort. And I feel like I view Snow as like the Drake of this, like you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like in the industry, like
It's a
Drake,
staple.
like Drake is like, you know, every artist coming up wants to be
Facts.
like Drake, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or they look
Yeah.
up to him or like really like, you know, want to like not mimic his moves, but like, you know, they are inspired by him. And I think Snow is
agree.
that for a lot of female artists. Like, you know, she's inspired me too. Like,
Right.
I like the fact that she's a woman, she's Hispanic, and she's LGBT, and she's just a boss ass bitch, man. And like,
I know, right?
And I respect like how she's always been very demanding of what she wants. And
For
like,
real, right.
you know, I think I've never been like a very like alpha like female. I've always
Man,
been
I
very.
see that in you though. I see that. I see the tattoos. I see the hat. I see the shirt.
I've always been very like by the book, kind of like, you know, I listen like what's the word? Like I've always played on a team, so I've always been like listen to the coach. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
And like, and I admire how she's just like takes control, and like that's something I felt I always needed to work on. You know what I mean? Like taking initiative of things. So you
Right.
know, seeing a woman like her doing that, you know, it hella inspires me. I'm like,
Right.
damn, like she's doing it. Why the fuck can I do it? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And like she's paving the way for other females like myself to be able to do that. She's already living proof that it can be done. You know what I'm saying?
agree.
And like Reverie to me is like she's like the underdog of the industry. Like I really feel like like she's always gonna be my favorite female artist because like there's something just so raw about her talent. Like, you know, she really like put emotion into it. And that's something that I really look for in music. I wanna feel it. I wanna be able to like feel your pain almost because it almost makes you like connect to the song more.
Let me ask you this then. Do you speak Spanish?
Yeah, I do.
¿Piensas que vas a hacer canciones en español?
Yeah, I said dos.
Cases.
Oh, dang.
I know,
That's
right?
good because I was gonna ask you, do you, because there's a lot of artists where you don't have to go mainstream to make money or be successful. We see a lot of like, let's say Young Dolph. Young Dolph was never a mainstream artist. He
Yeah.
never was in the radio. But every time we would go to a show of his, it was sold
Sold
out.
out.
Sold out.
Hell
So
yeah.
it's like, man, there's no need for you to be mainstream to be.
For real.
making
Shout out
it
to
Yeah.
Dolph.
in-
R.I.P.
in the
Facts,
music industry.
RIP.
Do you see yourself going in that route?
I mean,
Or-
honestly, that's kind of like what my goal is. You know, I always like to use Larry June as an example because he's like one of my
yeah.
favorite artists too. And I admire where he's at in his career because I feel like he can go and just go to the grocery store and be chilling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That shit terrifies me because I have bad social anxiety. So like the thought of like a bunch of people swarming you, like I don't want that. But but
You're-
I
you're
can't
doing
help
great,
it.
though. You're
Thank
doing
you.
great. We didn't know you prior to last night's event, but we met. Let's go.
Hell
And now
yeah!
we're
Now,
friends.
now
Exactly.
hell yeah! I appreciate y'all, man.
For real, we're gonna ride with you until the end. Straight
Thank
up.
you.
No, but yeah, it is different because I see it like even Snow the Product.
Mm-hmm.
She is. I'm not saying she's not mainstream, but not a lot of people know of her. Even
Yeah.
though she has a lot of following, like her followers are really loyal.
Facts.
Is that
Straight
kind
up,
of like
man.
kind of what you're targeting to
Yeah,
be?
I mean that's definitely what I want. You know, I just feel like I hate using the word comfortable, but you know, I feel like it's a comfortable place to be in a career like that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Because it's like you're able to like still do what you love at a level where like you can still also enjoy being like, you know, a normal person every now and
also
then.
being mainstream also comes to a lot of bad things where like a
Yeah.
lot of judgment from people that don't even know you.
Exactly. And you know, you gotta almost like watch your every move and like
Yeah.
because people forget like, yo, you're human too. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna fuck up. The only difference is you got cameras on you. Like
Yeah.
if it wasn't for the fact your life don't got cameras on you, people would be exposing your ass too.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
that's
saying?
right.
Like it's just different. But you know, and I think ever since I met Smooth, like my vision of where my career could go has changed though, because he's made me believe like, why limit yourself to that?
Yeah.
For
He's
real.
like why? He's like, I mean, he's even told me like, you know, he's like, I ain't gonna lie. In the beginning, I thought you'd probably only be as big as Amanda Perez, but he's like, the more I worked with you, he's like, nah. He's like, you can
Even
be so
bigger,
much
big,
bigger
big,
than
yeah.
that. And
Right.
him telling me that, like coming from Smooth, because like I hear, you know, he's smooth, you know. I feel like, when
That
he, like he speaks with certainty. There's never doubt in what he says. So for him
Yeah.
to tell me like, nah, it's gonna be
This-
bigger
this
than
your
this,
thing,
I'm
yeah.
like, damn, okay. If you say it's gonna be bigger, like, and that's my thing, like I say, like my thing has always been like I'm easy to coach, but it's hard for me to take initiative.
Yeah.
And he pushes me to like be more like, you gotta like, you know, do things for you too. Like don't
Right.
like, you know, you gotta work just as
Yeah.
hard, and you know, and it's easy to like get comfortable and when things are going good, but they can always be better. And for them to get better, you
Right.
gotta work harder.
Work
You know what I'm
harder.
saying?
Nah, for real. Question.
Yeah.
I see the tattoo. 1997. Show
Yeah.
the camera is right there. The 1997.
Yes.
Did you hear about how like you start dating and then you hear how the age that they were born and the next thing you know they say 2010. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh damn, that's
2010.
that's all, bro.
You mean 2000? No, that's happened to me, but when they said
Like 2000, like yeah.
2000, I was like, hold up, 2000. Oh, wait, you're 22. I was
Yeah.
like, hold up. Okay.
Nah,
Wait,
yeah.
you're right. 2010.
I'm like, bro.
Making myself look older. Look at this. Nah, but for real, like
Yo, your math was way off.
R. Kelly out here, bro.
No.
R.
What you
Kelly
trying to
up in this
say,
bitch.
dude?
That ass right. Nah, but for real, like 1997.
It's my year too. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying.
25,
Like,
I bet.
Well, you said February, right?
Yeah.
Let me ask you something though, because you said your birthday's on February 14th, right? Is it hard for you, like your birthday, especially on a relationship? Is
I mean, honestly,
pressure.
like,
it's like Christmas looking at us.
I mean, I'm kind of like thankful it was on a holiday that's not very like celebrated like that because you know it's not like if I was born on Christmas that kind
Yeah,
of sucked. But
sucks.
like being born on Valentine's Day, you know, it was always cool because my dad always went all out for me on Valentine's. Like he would give me like. He made me have some high expectations. You know what I'm saying? Like he would bring
and
me.
that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
Your
exactly.
father is supposed to show you
Yes.
how it's supposed to be done.
1,000%. And
As
I'm
a
grateful.
female.
Yeah, and I'm so grateful for my dad. Like he really, really taught me like this is how it should be.
Damn.
And then, you know, he's always been like a very stern speaker, but he speaks like with a lot of certainty too.
Right.
And I think like Smooth and my dad are very similar in that sense. My dad's just like, you know, I've always respected what he has to say because he pushes me too. Like he's a never satisfied guy. Like he can see anytime I'm doing something better, he's like, okay, that's cool, but you should, do this. And having that, it forces you to always try harder and be better.
You know what's so crazy? Because us as adults now, but like coming of age, there you go. Us coming of age, we are told to, you know what, we gotta go work a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And that's how we're gonna make a living. But then you see your parents that are Hispanic, that are contractors, that are, hustling and bustling, mowing lawns and shit, and they make so much money. Dead ass, right? Just doing just these gigs and shit.
Facts.
So like it's different for Hispanics to say, you know what, a 9 to 5 is not the thing for us.
Yeah, 1,000%. And I think that's something like to this day I still struggle with, because like my parents, like, Hispanic parents is like, unless you're like a doctor or a lawyer,
Right.
like doing some shit to them, or like you're successful.
Exactly.
But like my career is like, it's something I have to chase. Like,
Right.
it's you spend more money than you make, honestly. Like, and at first it's a lot of spending money. Like you don't
Right.
really get to keep much of what you make because it's just getting recouped and you putting it right
Right.
back into your career. So,
Facts.
a lot of people like don't really realize like you really probably lose out more money in the beginning of your career, than you make. Like it's a
Right.
lot of
That's
that.
so true.
And for your
That
parents
ass,
to
right.
be like, damn, like you're doing all this, but you're not really like maybe you should go get a job. I'm like, nah, like this
Yeah.
is like eventually this is gonna be what's gonna
Yeah.
and to me it's like they're not gonna understand until it's happening, you know what I'm saying? But like the more I do, the more they're like slowly like, okay,
Yeah,
and
they
it
gonna
might
come along.
To me, I explained to my mom because that's the thing where you're talking about investment, because that's all it is in the beginning, investing in yourself. To me, I told my mom, especially when I explained to her about the podcast and stuff, it's like any other business that you open. Like at the end of the day, any business that you open, you're gonna lose money the first year. Like you're not gonna be making any money.
1,000%.
It's a risk.
And
You open a
Yeah.
restaurant,
Yeah.
you put money into it.
exactly, and it's like, and it was crazy because even last night, like, my girl was, I was telling her like, I have moments where I get bummed out too because I'm like, damn, like, like I've been doing this for so long and I just like, I feel like I should be rich already, you know what I'm saying? But, that just comes, with the, every now and then every artist goes through that. But, she was like, if you think about it, every career is an investment. He's like, doctors, lawyers, they invest thousands of money in
right.
to get the proper
10 years.
education.
I mean,
just for their career.
shout out to like everyone that goes to school
No,
and becomes
facts.
doctors, because like
that shit's not easy.
it's not easy.
not
And then on
easy.
top of that, you are gonna get paid well, but then also the
yeah,
students
you're
are
gonna-
gonna you
that's
gonna
what I'm
be paying that shit
saying.
off too.
And I feel like I was like, like I think about it too. It's like, man, my parents like don't realize like this is technically like I've been paying for my education for like 4 or 5 years already because
Basically.
I'm like learning as I go, and everything I do like I'm constantly
Exactly.
learning something new. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
and especially like this career is you have to have a lot of patience.
Facts.
Because like if you don't have patience,
Right.
eventually you're gonna quit. And like my biggest thing is like I always told myself, I'm gonna get there as long as I don't quit.
Yeah.
Like
You don't
you're-
know this, but what was that concert with remember whenever I went out there and I filmed and I took I even bought a Garo, whatever it's called.
No.
Point is that you opened up for them. It was in Fort Worth. It was that
The 3-6 Mafia one? Or?
yeah, the 3-6
Oh, it was
Mafia.
the Centro Popular show.
Exactly,
Yeah, I did.
yeah.
I got brought up.
You opened up for that
Yeah.
shit, and you know what? People recognized you there.
Yeah.
and you're like, you even said it yourself. They're like, "Oh shit, I'm shook. Y'all know my songs."
Yeah, it was man.
Bro, there was not a couple, but definitely a good group of people. Not group, a good amount of people that were singing your shit.
Yeah, that
That's
shit
from
was
the
crazy.
laying down the foundation
Exactly.
of building
Yeah.
a core fan base.
And that was the first time I ever saw someone wearing a merch shirt at my concert.
No
like,
way.
yeah, some girl was like, "Look," I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "Hell yeah,
For
that's
real?
dope." Yeah, it was like super dope. Cause like it's one thing when people buy merch, but when I see them wearing it, I'm
Yeah.
like, "Oh man,
Right,
that's
pre-concert.
fire." It was like, damn.
That's right.
Yeah, that
Hey,
shit
that's
was
your
crazy.
fan right there. That's what's
Yeah,
up.
like I went to a show. I did a show in Amarillo. I think it was like last month, and I had they were there last night. It was a couple that been going to my shows pretty regularly, and they went all the way to Amarillo, and the boyfriend was wearing the hoodie, and then his girl was wearing like that shirt that he's wearing, and then they were like, man, we really want beanies, and so I had
for real,
I had
You had
sold
beanies,
out,
right?
I sold
That's
out,
clean.
and then I made more just for them because I was like, man, like I remember that shit.
Make a toolbox for the Hispanics and for the lunch shit.
Yo, that'd be fire, like just a work kit.
xBVALENTINE toolbox.
Yo, that shit would sell. All the contractors would be with my.
No, for real, right? The lunchbox next.
Yeah, that'd be fire.
I heard you're going to Cali soon.
No
Yeah.
way.
Tell us about
yeah.
that.
So I'm actually gonna be in Detroit. I'm gonna be out there with I'm doing a song with Royce the 5'9".
Let's
And-
go.
Yeah, he's actually. I got to meet him before, and man, the dude is wise. I learned. I was just like kind of hearing him talk and just soaking up everything he was saying. But man, that man is super wise, very
Right.
down to earth, and very humble. So being in his presence was definitely an honor. But we're gonna be in Detroit for 2 days, and then we're gonna fly from Detroit to LA. And I'm actually doing a song with D Smoke, which he was the winner of the Rhythm and Flow show. I think it was like
I love
a
that
year or two ago that he won. But yeah, did y'all know that his brother is Sir? Do y'all know who Sir is?
Sir, yeah.
When I found that out, I was like, what the? I was like, Sir is
I did not
fire.
know
Like, I did not know they were
both of them
brothers.
are LA Compton artists.
Yeah.
They're both raised in Compton. And honestly, when Rhythm and Flow came out, a lot of people were trying to kind of, what is it? Compare to Kendrick. These to Kendrick. And I'm like, no, they're so different because their way of rapping is different, but also just their point of views also, I don't know, it's just different. I was like, you see the difference, but man, D-Smoke, I'm a big fan of D-Smoke.
Yeah, he go hard. Like when Smooth told me about doing a song with him, I was all for it. I was like, hell yeah, I want to do a song with D-Smoke. Like, and D-Smoke was with it. Like he was quick with it. He was responsive. He was like, yeah, let's do it. He's like, we're like, can we meet you in LA? He's like, yeah, come through. I was like, fuck yeah, like
Run it.
hell
He's
yeah.
like such a genuine guy too. It's like he doesn't even. It doesn't show that he's not faking it, you know? It's just
Yeah,
how
I mean,
he is.
he's also was a teacher for a long time. So I
No
think,
way.
yeah, he was I think a
What?
high school teacher.
What
Yeah,
the fuck?
before the
Have
show.
you seen the show?
No.
Rhythm and
Yeah,
Flow?
the show he kind of like talks about all of that. He speaks Spanish too. He
Yeah,
raps
I
in
love it.
Spanish.
He raps in
Yeah,
Spanish, bro.
and fire.
African
like,
American too.
yeah,
It's not
he
American.
doesn't.
It's
He's
not-
yeah, like he's not even like half
He's
Hispanic
a
or
primo,
nothing.
but he's also African American.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, his
Like
his,
Cali.
the
That ass.
Cali lifestyle. But,
Yeah.
I mean, growing up in Compton, it's Hispanics and blacks.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, but
Primo.
yeah, that's fire, man. Like I was super excited about that one because I also watched the show. So and it was, and the crazy thing too is like all these artists I've gone to work with are like artists that my cousin was big fans of. Like
Damn,
like
for
you
real.
know, and
Rest
he was
in peace, that ass.
he was the biggest Bone Thugs fan. And I remember like one time one of the Bone Thugs member had posted like doing features and he had tagged me and they're like, yo, cuz you got to get on this. But I was like dead broke. I was like, man, I can't afford that. Like I cannot afford that. Like I think he was asking for like 5,000. Like you got me like, bro, I'm making like $200 a week.
But that's it. I can't.
Yeah, but nah, what was crazy is like, you know, I met Smooth literally a year after my cousin passed away. And he like, I think the second feature I did with him was Bone Thugs.
Yeah.
And he presented me the idea and I was all for it. I was like, bro, if we make that happen, like, holy fuck. Like, and we did. And, you know, my cousin's little brother, who I'm also really close to, like, we're both listening to the final song, like, fuck. Like,
I'm really
like our
into
cousin would have, I mean, like my cousin would have been like,
It gets you emotional.
yeah, like I remember the first time I heard the final like master, I like cried. I like played it over and
No
over
way you
again.
cried.
I was crying, bro. I was crying like a baby.
meaning
Like,
behind it?
yeah, because and then like in the song I do talk about my cousin. Like I said, fuck, I can't even quote it, but I do.
He said,
I can't even think of the line. But it, like the song itself, just kind of like I don't know. It was a moment of like. I accomplished something for him.
right.
It's like if he was here, he would have like he was my biggest fan. Like any song I sent him, he was like, "Damn, B, like you're the dopest." I
Right.
like he was my biggest fan. Like
I mean,
he really
your
was.
shit is dope.
I appreciate you, but he really like I could only imagine what he would have said hearing
yeah.
that song. You know, like and he was a big smoker. You know, that was our thing. Like we like to smoke together and just listen to music.
Facts. As us coming to age, you know, we never realized how much we would have to deal with death
Yeah,
until
facts.
it happened.
Yeah, and especially like unexpected. Like unfortunately, he died in a car accident.
Rest in
Yeah.
peace.
So like it was just kind of, and it wasn't even like his fault. It was someone
Right.
else's fault.
Exactly.
And
That's the
instead of
worst
this,
part, man.
yeah,
We have, man, I can't even count how many people we've had to,
Yeah.
Go to funerals.
exactly.
Yeah.
You see that right there?
One of my
Yeah.
friends.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
So,
Rest in peace.
it's definitely something that we never realized that we were gonna have to do in high school or in middle school.
Yeah,
you know,
facts.
coming to age,
You
and
think
you know
everybody's
what?
gonna grow old together?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. We're over here thinking, you know
Oh,
what?
naive
I'm
and
gonna
shit.
see you next time at the function,
Yeah,
or you know
facts.
what? I'll hit you with the Addy next time, type of shit.
And
but-
that's a crazy thing too, because like I had never really lost anybody prior to that, like
Right.
at all. Like, and you know, my girl actually had lost her older sister in a car accident, like maybe 3 years
Rest
before I
in
had
peace.
met her. And you know, I think I was fortunate to have her during that because
Yeah.
she knew more
No
than
way,
anybody.
dude.
You know what I'm
That's-
saying?
That's a keeper right there. Then
And
Yeah,
honestly,
bro.
it builds a connection deeper.
Yeah,
For
and the
sure.
craziest thing is like the last conversation I had with my cousin is he had a birthday party on, I think he was turning 27 at the time, and it was just crazy. It was literally the last time I got to see him because he passed away 2 weeks after his birthday party,
yeah.
and we were just chilling and like. And at this time, like I had already moved out from my friend, my parents' house, and like I moved away like 30 minutes out, so I wasn't like spending as much time
Right.
with them as much because you know I was there every day, like
Right.
they're like I call him my brother. I never really like
and
to
that's
say
what I was gonna say. So for us Hispanics, our primos are literally,
Yeah,
you know what
and
the
they were-
saying
yeah.
is, primo, right?
and like
exactly.
I didn't have any other cousins that I was close to. Like it was just us three growing up since we were a
Yeah.
kid. Like since day one, it was us three.
Thanks.
So like I don't know, we just had like this really crazy bond, and you know, shit, I forgot where I was going with that. Lost my train of thought.
Nah, but
No,
for
but
real,
it
like,
really is like that. You always have that one cousin that you
That
grow
ass.
up with
Yeah.
because
Dope
they
as
just
fuck,
happen to live close to you. like, they
Yeah,
always at your
literally, they
crib.
lived down the street,
That
like 5
ass.
minutes away,
Yeah.
and so I was like, and we're heavy gamers. Like I played,
Oh, for
like we
real?
gamed up heavy. Like I was real into
Nice.
like. So it was crazy because they lived in like a rancho kind of.
Okay.
So their Wi-Fi was shitty there, and we would try.
3000
Yeah,
ping. Lagging as fuck.
man. So at the time they didn't have any Wi-Fi, so my cousin was bringing his PS4, and we had just got a
Bro.
projector. So we had like a projector, and we put a TV.
Nice.
So he would be on the TV, I'd be on the projector. We'd game up on GTA online.
that reminds me so much of my cousin.
And we'd play for hours, bro.
That's
He would
right.
come right after work. I remember this was like a little bit after high school. He'd come after work and he'd get there maybe like at 4 o'clock. He'd be there till 2 in the morning.
Right.
And
Just
what
playing
games would y'all play?
GTA, we played a lot of 2K.
2K.
Yeah.
But check
Are
this
you still a
out.
gamer?
Yeah, well, so the sad thing is was when I was moving to Dallas, like we were putting a bunch of shit in boxes,
Yeah.
right? And we had like this one box that we're donating Goodwill. We confused it.
Oh, no.
I donated my PS4.
So you're telling me they didn't want to donate that shit?
I did
Well,
not.
no. Who wants to donate their game system, bro?
That's
Man, bro,
Like,
I
let me
was-
just donate this PS5.
So sad. So sad.
I wonder what they thought. I was like, damn, a PS4.
Bro,
What are you about to set
I
up?
was
So
so
they screwed that real
sad.
quick.
You know that Goodwill employee was like, you know what's my look today?
Nah, they kept that shit. I know for a fact, bro.
Yes.
Nah, but I don't have nothing. But honestly, it was probably for the best because I would like waste hours just playing all day. You know what I'm
Nice.
saying? Like, but now I don't really be gaming up. Like my little brother just got a PS5. I'm really into like story mode games. Like The Last of Us
Facts.
is like I love those games.
That's a
Oh,
good
yeah.
game.
Have you heard the,
Yeah.
the show? Are you going to watch the
Yeah,
show?
my little brother is like puts me on everything. But yeah, I played both games. Like I played the first one like 3 times. The
Nice.
Mafia game, like I love those. Like Mafia, I played.
Mafia 1, Mafia 2.
Yeah, I played the Mafia 2 was hard.
Yeah,
like that
that
one
was
was
fun.
dope.
Man,
I
I
played that one
remember-
twice.
Did you ever play the original Spider-Man?
Nah.
The-
Oh yeah, actually I did. Yeah, yeah.
It's
yeah.
a good ass
PS2?
game. Yeah. You know what? For the real gamers out there, if you had a PS2 or PS3, bro, I played that Toy Story 2 game. That shit was amazing, bro.
I don't know what he played that shit.
That's all I'm saying. I'm repping that
Real
shit. Fuck y'all ain't real gamers.
God,
You're
was
coping.
a-
You're coping.
Modern
Nah,
Warfare
bro.
2 was the fucking shit,
I was
bro.
playing like a lot of racing games though, like Midnight
Oh,
Lane. Like
nice.
Midnight Lane was, or not Midnight Lane.
Burnout, bro.
Was that what it was
Burnout
called?
the shit.
Yeah, that was dope too.
Midnight Club, did you?
Midnight Club.
Yeah, it's
Midnight
on
Lane was the name of
Dub
my
Edition.
album.
I was actually just playing that game recently because I found my PSP.
Oh, shit.
yeah.
Man, that's crazy. I've been wanting to buy one because I used to play that football game, the street one where you used to be
the
running
street
on.
one, yeah,
Man, that
that
was my
shit go
shit.
hard,
Yeah.
yeah.
I've been wanting to like try to find a PS. It's hard to find
is.
like
on
a
eBay,
good
you
one.
have to buy them, and some of them are fake.
Yeah.
I bought one recently, and it was fake.
Damn.
Damn, they
It was
got
fake.
your ass.
Well, it wasn't fake, but it was definitely like
Not real.
original.
Yeah, it's like bootleg version from the bootleg.
I heard that happens a lot, but I mean, it's whatever.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Sucks, man.
Damn
But
it.
yeah, it's cool. Well, honestly, I wouldn't recommend you getting like the PS5 because you're gonna fall in love with it. And
No, my brother, he
you get
just got
addicted to
one
it,
and he
yeah.
brought it and like, man, I was like, he re-downloaded the Last of Us.
Yeah.
And I already played it, but I was looking at like the graphics are crazy.
right?
Yeah,
I was like, I want to
yeah.
play again just because the graphics are
Dead ass,
insane.
right?
Damn.
But there's this other game that I like shit like where you gotta like there's this one called Until Dawn, which is like
Until Dawn?
it has
Okay.
like 50 alternative endings. It's kind of like Cabin in the Woods.
Is it a zombie one?
Nah, it's kind of I don't even know what it is. It's
But-
like a like Cabin in the Woods kind of game.
I think I
don't
know
know
which
why.
one you're talking about.
But
yeah,
but it's all based off decision making. So it's
Yeah.
like, you know, the game's never gonna end for you the same way. And the
Right.
objective is either to like keep everyone alive or to try to like kill everybody
Yeah.
off. Because it's the hardest. Those are the two hardest alternatives.
Bro, I'm ready for GTA 6, whatever. It's gonna be in Miami, right? Bro, I'm
Damn.
so
It's gonna
ready.
be
That
lit.
ass. You gotta get that PS5. Damn.
I can't do it. It's gonna take up too much of my time.
She gonna be at the strip club getting some ass.
But start streaming. Hey, start streaming.
Nah,
Streaming is a big thing where like
Yeah.
you're playing video games, but you could be making money too.
Nah,
off of it.
facts.
Bro, I feel like I can see us as a streamer.
Nah, and it was funny because my little brother, like, he says it's entertaining watching me play games because I like talk a lot of shit. It's like,
Bro, that's
I
what
be-
I'm saying.
he's
That's
like,
good.
he's like, you should be recording this.
Party up, bro. Let's get right
And
now.
how old is your little brother?
He's a shit. Well, he's a freshman in college right now, so he's
That's not little.
Well, he's
He's
my
little
little
too,
brother.
man, little,
We're 7
yeah.
years apart, so
Holy
yeah. So I think he's 18 right now.
Yeah, 18. Yeah, so
He's
I
a
mean-
smart kid, man. I don't know where he got it from.
but he's in tune with all that with the streaming because right now
Yeah.
streaming is big. Every streamer is
Yeah,
taking
man.
off. That
Yeah,
thing
he
is
keeps
taking
me
off.
hip to all like that shit.
know,
You know,
right,
like he
right.
keeps me up to date because I don't keep up with nothing. I'm like, you know,
1997.
No, that's how I am. We're literally the same age, and my
Yeah.
little brother's the same
yeah,
thing.
you know,
He
they
keeps
put
me
us
up with
on.
everybody.
Yeah, like I don't really be like seeing what games are cool, but he'll be like, "Oh, there's this new game that came out. I already know you'll like it." And I'll play it. Like, yeah, he knows me. You know what I'm saying? He knows what I
Yeah.
like.
My little brother be making fun of me because I be playing video games and I'm trash because I hardly play anymore.
Yeah.
I used to be really good, but since I hardly play, like I get
Nah,
killed all the
facts,
time at Modern Warfare,
facts.
Call of Duty and stuff.
Yeah, I started
And he's
playing
like-
it too.
And then he'd be making fun of me. He's like, bro, you're trash. I'm like, shut up. You don't have a life.
All you do is play.
Facts,
All I do
bro.
is play. Like, I gotta go to work. I
Nah,
gotta live
for
life.
real.
Like,
I know.
Excuses, bro.
I'm still good with it.
Exactly. Run it. Let's go.
well, that's why you don't be editing, huh? Don't
Bro.
even remind me, bro.
That's the old Alan. New me, new year, new me. Look at us.
Nah, man.
But XP Valentine, it was great having you. This is not the first. I mean, this is not gonna be the last time you come.
Hell yeah.
It's crazy how many people are coming back to our show.
And we might pull up to you too. Also.
Shit, hell yeah.
Dead
Yeah.
ass.
Yeah.
We're trying to figure out a way to sometimes like be mobile
Got you.
and
real.
also go to the artist, you know. 'Cause
Yeah.
sometimes some artists can't come to Dallas
Yeah.
all the time, you
But
know.
shit,
so-
whenever y'all come, mi casa su casa. Y'all just pull
Alright.
up.
There we go.
Exactly, not for
Appreciate
real. But XP Valentine, before we go, do you have anything else to say? Any shows, concerts? I know that we're gonna, whenever we drop, you're gonna drop something too.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
already talked about it.
Yeah, as far as, you know, I got the single coming out on the 28th. I believe I will be having a show March 25th.
Let's go.
There's going to be some pretty dope people on that show. I can't say too much just yet,
NDA,
but it's going to be
bitches.
a good year and definitely more headlining shows for sure this
Let's
year.
go, for
So
real.
that's the goal.
Dope.
Congrats, XP. for
Thank you.
real.
I really do appreciate you guys, though. You know, I had fun, and I'll
for
definitely
sure,
be
man.
back. You already know.
That's right, exactly.
And next time y'all come out to us, you know, I'll take you to some good spots.
Man,
Oh,
the
yeah,
rest
we
was
need that, we need
crazy.
that.
Yeah,
Dead
I
ass.
got y'all.
All right, boys. We out. Peace.
Peace.